Ever wonder what happens after you click that donate button for like a Canadian charity?
Yeah.
Well, we're going deep into that
Oh,
today.
wow.
It's a lot more complicated than just asking for money.
Hmm.
We're using an article from B.I.G charity law group called Fundraising 101, Key Insights for Canadian Charities as our guide today.
It's amazing how many rules there are about how charities can raise funds.
Right.
Like, it's really important for them to know how to do it right. And, for people like you and me who donate to charities
Hmm.
or maybe work for one or you're just curious, this is useful stuff.
Yeah, they call it the lifeline for Canadian charities.
Wow.
Pretty intense, right?
Yeah, without good fundraising, these organizations can't do anything.
Right.
They can't achieve their missions. It's a really good image
Hmm.
to show how important it is that they get this right.
Yeah.
And speaking of getting it right, the CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, has a pretty broad definition of what fundraising actually is.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Okay.
It's got to be more than just asking for cash on a street corner.
Yeah, way more.
Right.
The CRA considers anything that brings in donations fundraising,
Okay.
whether it's money or donated goods,
Oh, okay.
So think about things like, a charity's website that's selling merchandise
Right.
or tickets to an event. That's all fundraising.
So even those online shops where you can buy like swag for a charity.
Exactly.
That's all part of it.
That's all fundraising. The article also makes a distinction between direct and indirect fundraising,
Oh. Okay.
which can be a little tricky.
Okay.
So imagine like a door-to-door campaign that's happening.
Yeah.
That's a direct fundraising activity because they're actively asking for donations.
Right.
But then all the work that happens behind the scenes to make that successful,
Yeah.
that's the indirect fundraising.
So like what would be an example of that?
So let's say they're doing research on the best neighborhoods
Right.
to
Yeah.
target, right?
Right.
Or demographics, or even planning out the most efficient routes for volunteers.
Yeah, okay.
All that planning and research is considered indirect fundraising.
So even though they're not directly asking for money at that point,
Yeah.
it's all part of the bigger picture.
Exactly, and it shows how everything's kind of connected,
Yeah.
And it really emphasizes the importance of planning. The article points out that even though planning isn't directly bringing in donations,
Hmm.
it's a super important part of fundraising.
So it's like laying the groundwork for success.
Exactly.
Okay, but here's where it gets even more interesting. The Income Tax Act doesn't list every single activity that's okay for charities to do for fundraising.
Yeah, there are some gray areas,
Oh, wow.
which can be hard.
Yeah,
Charities have to kind of interpret the guidelines
right.
and make sure that they're operating within the law.
It sounds tricky. So how do they know what's okay and what's not?
That's where the CRA comes in to provide some guidance.
Okay.
Think of them like a referee, making sure that everyone's playing by the rules.
Right.
So they help charities understand how to comply with the Income Tax Act when it comes to fundraising to ensure accountability and transparency.
Okay, so they're like the rule book and the referee all rolled into one.
Pretty much, yeah.
What are some of the things they focus on in their guidance?
Well, first and foremost, charities have to make sure they're following the Income Tax Act.
So it's all about staying within the lines.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And to help with that, the CRA provides details on some potentially bad fundraising practices
Oh, okay.
in Section F of their guidance. It's kind of like a big warning sign
Okay.
saying, hey, watch out for these things.
Okay, so it's not just about what you can do, but also what you should avoid doing.
Yeah.
What kind of things are we talking about?
We'll get into the specifics later.
Okay.
But think about things like misleading advertising
Right.
or using pressure tactics to get donations.
Okay.
Those are definite red flags for the CRA.
So ethics plays a role here, too.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not just about following the rules, but also the spirit of the law.
Exactly. And the CRA also has these things called red flags to spot unacceptable fundraising practices.
Okay, so these are like warning signs the CRA looks for to make sure the charities are playing fair.
Yeah, exactly.
This is getting juicy. What are some of the red flags?
Well, one is like a high fundraising cost ratio.
Okay.
So that means that a big percentage of the money raised goes back into the fundraising itself,
Okay.
leaving less for the actual charity work.
Right. So it's about making sure that the donations are being used effectively.
Exactly. And efficiently.
Another one is using pressure or coercion to get donations.
Okay.
Like make people feel like they have to give.
Right.
Or using aggressive sales tactics.
Oh, wow. That sounds pretty bad.
Yeah. Ethical fundraising should be about inspiring people to give,
Yeah.
not making them feel pressured.
Right.
It goes back to respecting donors.
Oh, yeah.
Letting them make choices freely.
This is fascinating. Now, I want to pause for a second and bring this back to the listener.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about all this behind-the-scenes stuff when you donate to a charity?
Yeah, good point.
It's a lot to think about.
It is.
It's not as simple as just picking a cause you care about and clicking a button.
Right.
There's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
And we'll get into more of it in just a minute.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the cause itself
Yeah.
and not think about, like, how the charity actually works.
Right.
But understanding all these rules and regulations can really give you, like, a new appreciation for the work they do.
Absolutely. It adds another layer to giving responsibly, right?
Yeah.
So let's get into those unacceptable practices.
Okay.
What are some, like, concrete examples?
Yeah. So one area they focus on is misleading or deceptive tactics.
Okay.
So think about charities that might exaggerate the need for donations
Okay.
or make promises about how the money will be used that they can't actually keep.
So it's about being honest with the donors.
Mm-hmm.
Transparency is key.
Exactly. The CRA wants to make sure that people are donating based on, like, accurate information,
Right.
not being misled.
Okay.
Another thing they watch out for is when a charity spends too much of their resources on fundraising activities that don't really help their mission.
Can you give an example of that?
Yeah, like, let's say a charity has this lavish fundraising gala
Okay.
that costs a ton of money to put on,
Right.
but they only end up raising a small amount of money after all the expenses.
Okay.
So that would be a red flag because it's not a good use of resources.
It's like that saying, don't spend $1 to raise a dime.
Exactly.
The focus should be on maximizing the impact.
Yeah, there needs to be a clear link between how they're raising money and what they're actually doing.
Right.
Now, remember those red flags we talked about earlier?
Yeah, those are pretty interesting.
Those are specific things that the CRA uses to figure out if the fundraising is okay.
Okay, can you remind us of some of those red flags?
Yeah, so we already talked about the high fundraising cost ratio,
Right.
which is when a lot of the donations go back into fundraising instead of the programs.
Yeah.
The CRA wants to make sure that charities are using the money well.
It's all about accountability.
Yeah, another big one is using pressure tactics to get donations.
Right.
Like, you know those phone calls where they try to guilt you into giving?
Those are the worst.
Yeah, or they use, like, high-pressure sales techniques.
Oh, yeah, those are bad.
Fundraising should be about inspiring people,
Yeah.
not making them feel bad.
Right.
It goes back to respecting the donors,
Right.
letting them make their own choices.
Okay, so we've talked about what not to do.
Yeah.
What about some best practices?
Yeah, so the CRA has some recommendations for charities
Okay.
to help them improve.
Cool.
They're not like rules,
Okay.
but they're like helpful tips.
Okay, cool.
One of the main ones is developing a clear fundraising policy.
Oh, okay.
So this outlines their approach to fundraising,
Okay.
including, like, their ethical guidelines, their financial procedures, and how they report on everything.
So it's like a roadmap for their fundraising efforts.
Exactly. It makes sure everyone is on the same page
Yeah.
and promotes transparency and accountability.
Okay, I like it. What else?
Another one is to diversify their fundraising.
Okay.
So instead of relying on one source of funding,
Right.
like government grants,
Mm-hmm.
or a single big donor,
Yeah.
they should explore lots of different options.
That makes sense. Why is that important?
Well, imagine a charity that gets most of their money from one big donor,
Okay.
and then that donor stops giving.
Right.
That could be a huge problem for them.
Yeah.
But if they have different sources,
Right.
then they're more stable.
It's like not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, exactly.
Spreading the risk.
It also lets them engage with a wider range of supporters
Right.
and connect with different communities.
That's a good point.
Okay, what else?
Another best practice the CRA recommends is regularly evaluating how effective their fundraising is. So, like, track how much it costs to raise money.
Yeah.
Or, like, how happy their donors are.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about using data to make changes and make sure they're doing a good job.
It's like running a business. You gotta be strategic and efficient.
Exactly.
But it's also important to remember that fundraising is about more than just numbers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's about connecting with people and inspiring them to support a cause they care about.
You got it. That's where those best practices around ethics and building relationships come in.
Yeah.
It's about creating trust and lasting connections with their supporters.
It's about building a community.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's where it gets interesting.
Oh.
Even with all these guidelines, it's ultimately up to each charity
Yeah.
to decide how to apply them.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
So it's about finding that balance between following the rules and being creative.
Exactly. And that's what makes this so cool.
Yeah.
It's not just about checking boxes.
Right.
It's about understanding what the regulations are trying to do
Right.
and using them in a way that supports the charity.
That makes sense. This has been really eye-opening. We've covered a lot today.
We have.
From the broad definition of fundraising to those bad practices that the CRA wants charities to avoid.
Yep.
And we've talked about those best practices that can help charities do better.
Right.
But before we wrap things up,
Okay.
I want to shift gears again, back to you, the listener. Knowing all this about how complicated fundraising is, how do you think about giving to charities now?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Like, how can we make sure that our donations are being used the right way?
We can't just assume that every charity works the same way.
Right.
Or that everyone's doing it the right way.
So it's not enough to just, like, pick a cause we care about.
Yeah.
We have to do our research, too.
Exactly. We need to be informed givers.
Okay.
So take some time to look into the charities you're thinking about.
Oh.
You know, look at their financials. Are they transparent?
Right.
Can you easily find their statements?
Okay.
What are their fundraising costs like?
Yeah.
Are they ethical?
Right.
Like we talked about.
So it's about being proactive
Yeah.
and making good choices.
Exactly.
About where our money goes.
And there are resources out there to help you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, websites like Charity Intelligence
Okay.
and the CRA's website itself.
Okay.
They have tons of info on registered charities.
Oh, cool.
You can find their financial statements,
Okay.
learn about their programs,
Right.
and get a good sense of their overall approach.
So we can really empower ourselves as donors.
Exactly. And by doing this,
Yeah.
we're not just helping ourselves.
Right.
We're helping create a better system overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the good charities
Right.
get the support they deserve.
I like that.
Yeah.
We've learned that fundraising for Canadian charities has a lot of rules.
It does.
It's not just as simple as asking for money. There's a lot to it.
There is.
For charities and for donors.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
If charities have limits on how they can raise money,
Yeah.
it makes it even more important that we make informed choices and
Yes.
support the organizations that are doing things the right way.
I agree. This has been a great deep dive
It has.
into Canadian charity fundraising.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more,
Yeah?
check out the article from B.I.G. Charity Law Group.
Yeah.
It's called Fundraising 101, Key Insights for Canadian Charities.
Good one.
We'll include a link in the show notes.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Bye.